Pluto sphere,
connecting decentralized technologies to the global economy.
We're here to bring you the latest from the leading commanders in the crypto space.
This week, we welcome our guest, Edgar's co-founder of Colizeum.
Colizeum have created a decentralized gaming app store run by the community, who are a shortcut for play-to-earn gaming infrastructure, bringing Web2 to Web3. Edgar's, it's amazing to have you on. Let's start with a brief intro to Colizeum.
Sure. So to put it in a really simple words, we are here to bridge gap between Web2 and Web3. So we have lots of experience, and originally we have originated from the mobile game development industry. So we started back in 2014. We kind of understand how this market runs. We understand the problems and needs of this market. And with the Colizeum, we basically aim to remove the obstacles for the current industry of Web2 game developers to either port their portfolios on Web3 or start working on completely new projects, because it's quite a struggle for regular development studios to understand how this world operates. And at the same time, it also involves some practical things building blockchain developer teams, and it shouldn't be the thing what is required for game development studios. They don't need to build their own game development engines. They're using Unity or Unreal Engine. The same should be applied to the blockchain development. And so it's kind of like the PayPal for a blockchain. If you want to accept credit card payments, you just integrate PayPal SDK, a few lines of code, and bam, you can finally accept the payments. And this should be done the same way with the Web3 integrations.
Of course, you're going to have the aspect of the token that you're going to be able to pay for on your platform. So maybe we could just go through a little bit about the utilities, the different things that you're able to purchase. Are you going to put packages together for gamers and developers, or is it going to be maybe you've got this aspect covered already, you just want an extra element of infrastructure that we can help you with?
Sure. So generally from the token utility perspective, this of course is the bloodline of whole platform.
Yeah.
But if we have to start to split these things, then basically the heart of whole Colizeum is its play turn model. So this is something what allows game developers with games which by default aren't compatible or capable of running their own economies to plug into this universal play turn model. And this play turn model is pretty much run by our own Zeum token. So this Zeum token is used to mint player card NFTs. These are pretty much acts as a game passes, which gives players access to any game on the platform in the play turn mode. And for developers, it means that they get access to this player base. And at the same time, when player earns, the developer is capable of earning as well, because of the nature of this model. So one of kind of innovations, what we brought in was making these play turn models universal by nature. So this is quite an interesting aspect, but I probably won't dive deeper into it now. Regarding of utilities, we also are looking on a basically concept of DeFi. So we understand that DeFi is sometimes found even complicated for experienced crypto investors.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it will be definitely really complicated thing for let's call them crypto virgins, guys who have no prior experience to the crypto space. So with the Colizeum, we basically aim to use GameFi to move part of this audience to the DeFi.
Yeah.
And this can be done in a way in a way that players understand. They understand that they can get some better earning rates in the games. They can get more chances to play, some more exotic play modes. And all these things can be unlocked by staking Zeum token. So it's really important for us to provide liquidity So if they stake on liquidity pools, they will, like, let's say, get some gold perks in that sense. If they're like making commitment to lock away their assets in like single staking pools, that's fine. They will also receive some sort of perks in a platform besides yielding from this token stake. So we're generally like using Zoom token as a way to move people from GameFi to DeFi. In a way they can actually understand and like answer their only internal questions, like, why do I need this? And I think the point, the moment they do that, they understand all the benefits of the DeFi as well, and it kind of drives completely different agenda from them at that point.
Amazing. Can we go into some detail on some of the products you're creating? So you've got tournament as a service, prediction markets, attention marketplace, and deep referral. Maybe you could just give us a
So SDK itself, it's kind of like umbrella under which we have like different kind of services. So like I said, the first fundamental layer is allowing these developers to plug into Web3. But then the question is, okay, now you're plugged in. What do you do with that, right? And this is where we put most of our focus, is the products around this kind of Web3 layer. And we are pretty much SDK is a collection of different game services, so game systems, game ready systems. So let's say developer has like a game which could be capable of running skill-based games. So we give them ability to organize tournaments with free participation, or at some point when players get more comfortable, they can actually stake Zoom tokens and participate by risking these Zoom tokens, so kind of higher risk game modes. So we give them like framework how to organize competitive game modes. We give them tools which they can use to transfer their in-game assets to the chain in form of NFTs. So basically, we give them way to like bring their skins, items, consumable items on a blockchain, and along with that, it comes with a set of different systems like crafting systems, land-based systems. So basically, things you would need to actually do something once you're on the chain. And then there are a bit more exotic services which are a bit further on our roadmap, like prediction marketplace and attention marketplace. So attention marketplace is something what becomes interesting the moment we have some significant player base, and this just gives ability for developers to either monetize their game experiences in a way of like directing their players to the different games, or acquire like new players from existing player base. So I would say in that sense a bit similar like the Brave browser model.
I see that you've already got Dystopia, I think it is, already partnered with. So how is that particular game? This is your first game that you've onboarded the infrastructure for. How is that particularly set up to monetize? What is the play to earn model there? And how did you find onboarding, the partnership, the support from the community, having a game and a token that are owned by two different entities?
The Dystopia itself, it's of course the first game of Colizeum, but at the same time it's treated more like testing grounds, experimental grounds. So whenever we are preparing to release a new feature on SDK, it will be first tested on Dystopia. This is a way for us to collect data and feedback before we ship something out. So in that sense, this will be kind of like a test lab. So if we are like specifically looking on Dystopia, it already have like part of our tournament system. So it already allows players to be matchmake and play and collect some points, which later can be used to redeem Zoom tokens. But the moment we release SDK, it will also be capable of running play to earn mode. So this means whenever players will join the tournament, they will generate our secondary token, which is called Colizeum Gold, and this is like will be the first example of how play to earn works in kind of the mobile game, at least for Colizeum. And in our roadmap, future roadmap, we also have a part where we are going to release Dystopia NFTs. So the current game is pretty much like stripped down version of original, with the purpose of keeping it simple and allowing to basically evolve in a different vector. And so we are once we are releasing minting functionality for Colizeum developers, it will be first tested on Dystopia, and with Dystopia we will introduce a new heroes, which can be used in the game, but generally it will be a collection of NFTs. So players will be able to do a variety of different things besides just playing with them. But of course, the main purpose is to have these assets to be used in the game. So it kind of sounds simple, but actually it's like a lot of moving pieces and infrastructure which you have to build around that.
And not only that, but you're a mobile game at the moment, and obviously things don't just stop with being mobile. You're obviously going to create more PC web browser based games as well.
Actually Dystopia is on desktop as well, so it has its own standalone Mac and Windows client. I think we also have like a Linux client as well, but just because we can kind of thing.
I didn't realize that. I thought you guys were just mobile based at the moment.
The mobile pretty much is just the focus point. This is where we see there is a huge scaling possibilities.
The traction.
So like we don't want to just utilize like existing audience. We want to actually do good and bring new people to the crypto space. And I think that mobile is a great fit for that. But of course, like we don't specifically support mobile or desktop. What we do, we support game engines, and like Unreal and Unity engines. They're capable of like exporting basically these games on either web, mobile or desktop.
Cool. Your team are amazing. They've got 10 years worth, more than 10 years worth of blockchain and gaming experience. Maybe you could sort of shine a spotlight on some of your key members of your team.
Totally. So we are like I said, by our DNA, we are game developers. So we are really passionate about that. We started back in 2014 as a small independent studio. At the beginning, we pretty much focused on exploring App Store, and we produced like a bunch of different small games. We almost was like a small factory, which were just constantly producing new titles and seeing what sticks and what basically something to explore and understand this market. And at one point, we realized that with our ambitions, we need to grow. And at the moment, we are around the size of 30 people, which consists of like game developers, blockchain developers, backend infrastructure. We have data and data science and analytics in-house. We even have like sound studio. Every asset you see produced is internally produced. So we have like 3D art, 2D art, video animation. Besides that, we have like dedicated quality assurance team, which makes sure that the thing we produce actually works.
Is there anything that you're trying to outsource, grow stronger partnerships with 3D wise? There's so many 3D software infrastructure applications that are coming into the space right now. I don't know if that's something that you're partnering with a lot, or is that something you definitely want to keep in-house?
The thing about keeping these things in-house is it basically allows us to communicate more efficiently and kind of work more efficiently. But of course, there are things what we are looking abroad. So there are few like strong expertises which we just cannot find in this region. So we work with some guys from States. There is like one of our concept artists is concept artist behind Netflix Love, Death, Robots series. He's located in Poland, so of course, like with that kind of talents, we need to look basically abroad, and it's not just like a strict policy having all of these things in house. It just happens that through these years we managed to build a really strong team, which is like self-sustainable and know each other. So I think it's really important that people understand each other and can work together, and actually have worked together previously. So it's kind of some sort of assurance that we can deliver what we promise.
It sounds brilliant. And what about you? How did you end up in Colizeum? Gaming background.
Okay.
Crypto.
So
how did you get there?
It's so actually I started looking into the startup space back in 2010. I would say even maybe before that. And at that point, like I was still in. I think I was first year high school. First year high school. And at that point, basically, I had a few ideas, like everyone else, like $1 million ideas, but you don't have money, skill set, and team. And I thought that the most easiest will be learn how to code to build some of these things. Like for past few years, I haven't written like a single line of the code, but what it gave me like the programming is not knowing the syntax and just writing. It's kind of a way of thinking. So you learn how to like structure these products and how to communicate with the teams who are actually building them.
Yeah. So
I think this was one of most valuable things, most valuable decisions I was able to make. And since then, I managed to build like a few small applications, which were some utilities and lifestyle applications. And at one point, I understood that I'm so passionate about the games. Like I've spent like a healthy amount of time playing the games. So why not start like building them? And at that point, like appstore was just starting to emerge. So we made like a studio, which was pretty much 2-3 people.
Yeah.
And there were a few things what we understood works. So we started to kind of scale up and to the point where we are like pretty much like right now. And 2 years ago, we made kind of a strategic decision as a whole studio to shift towards crypto space. Because first we saw that the market in mobile gaming is just getting more and more saturated. Yeah. Like if we compare like current Web3 and mobile gaming, I would say the current blockchain gaming market looks really
mobile games.
Like the mobile gaming market 10 years ago. And
everyone's doing it on their break or on the bus or on the train. No one's really sitting at home and they haven't really got the time, they've got other jobs that they're doing. So definitely mobile fronted. I think the P2E space, I mean, we haven't got much time left, but I'd really, really like to just touch on the blockchain that you're on and all the other chains that you're going to be moving over to.
Yeah, so the token itself is based on Ethereum. Mm-hmm. So that's of course like a really strong foundation for any project. And as a scaling solution, we had pretty wild internal discussion about either we go with a Polygon or we go with a Binance Smart Chain. Eventually, we ended up working with Binance Smart Chain because from the blockchain is like a piece of infrastructure and it has to solve specific needs. And one of our needs was a great user experience for people who don't know what the crypto is. Yeah. So Binance is really good in that sense. They do all the KYC. They get easy to obtain your first crypto, like exchange. So it's like a whole infrastructure. So we don't have to take care of these things.
Once you're on the BSC chain, everything's happy.
Kind of.
Not so happy.
Yeah, but we are looking to work on Polygon as well, and also at some point on Solana. Polygon, BSC, they are EVM compatible. Solana should soon be EVM compatible. I saw that Cardano is also becoming EVM compatible. I think there will be a lot more ways how we can tap into different infrastructures.
I heard that you guys were originally planning to do Cardano.
That was one of the initial ideas, but of course, like that ecosystem has its own challenges. It has like a super like passionate community and ton of like liquidity behind that, but at the same time, it also carries some risks in terms of can we find like developers who can work on that chain? Can we actually use this chain to onboard like non-crypto people? And it just, even at that time, it was like Ethereum first and Cardano as a scaling solution. But we felt that we will have much easier time if we start with something which is EVM compatible out of the box, and then move to the ecosystems like Cardano and Solana.
Yeah, I think a lot of games are finding that at the moment, and developers and infrastructure builders, is that if you haven't got the mass community, it's really hard to scale. And therefore, we're sticking to the ones that we already know, like BSC, Polygon, and Solana and things, because it's where the majority of people are building, and it's where, you know, it's easier to implement your infrastructure to the mass audience. I mean, I'm a massive fan of Ada. Not many people are, but I'm really hopeful that you guys can move over there sort of in the next couple of quarters with the product. I think that'd be fantastic. I think Cardano is such a fantastic community. It's such an amazing ecosystem where people you know, people are trusting in this amazing blockchain, but just very few people are actually building and pursuing. So I'm a big fan for when you guys are ready to go over in that direction. But we have run out of time. It's been so lovely having you on. Can you just give us a little update on what's the next drop? Obviously, you've got a launch in a couple of days. Where are you launching? We're going to drop the links. Give us the updates. Where have we got?
Yeah, totally. So we are listing on a Wednesday. We'll be listing on Gate.io. We'll be listed also on PancakeSwap and Uniswap. So we'll have like DEXs and centralized exchanges. In terms of our roadmap, we are looking to ship out the SDK on late June. And this will come together with the Colizeum NFT collection as well. So because that Pluto and economy to run, it needs to have like this piece of infrastructure in place. So this will ship out around the same time. And of course, before we do that, like I said, we are using Dystopia as our test lab. We are dropping these NFTs before that. And another thing is that we currently have already onboarded some 7 games. So some of these titles can be seen on our web. We are like actively communicating about them on our socials, and there are few major partnerships yet to be announced as well. So like I said, we come from this industry, so we are working with many of these partners, and like we see that interest is really strong. Sometimes I even feel like being doctor, because these guys coming and saying like different kinds of problems, and we're like, okay, we can solve that. We have a pill for that, and yeah. So
you're performing cosmetic surgery on all of these.
Yeah, pretty much. Like it's a good thing to see that there is a need for something we build, and it's everyone only has one question: when this thing is ready, we want to be on it, and like so. We didn't want to work on like biz dev too soon, but like these guys sometimes find us, and we just, okay, why not? Let's start to like list these games as well.
That's amazing.
So yeah, we have some lineup prepared.
Hop on the market and move with the waves. Definitely awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Brilliant. Thanks so much for coming on.
Thank you. It was a pleasure.
Thank you, Plutonauts, for watching. We will be back with more from the Galaxy of Pluto soon. Don't forget to give us a like,
give us a share, and subscribe.